What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Clippers Latest, where we talk all things LA Clippers, quick, fast, and to the point. I'm your host with the most, Brandon Goggins, back here with another awesome episode for you guys today. But first, we're going to do our quick vibe check, per usual. Hope that you guys are having a totally tubular day today. And of course, if you're watching tonight, I hope that you did have a tubular day. And we'll have one tomorrow as well. I'm just trying to send out the good vibes. We have a lot to get into. Still kind of, backpacking off of the media day training camp stuff, storylines to follow from that. And, just a lot to talk about per usual. But I hope that you guys are doing all right. And let's get straight into the ride. First, we're talking about our boy, the Beard. He said something at the media day, one of the pressers, that really stuck with me, and I'm about to start saying this all the time. But he's basically said that every new season is a new opportunity to be legendary. And that spoke to me just because you can put that to scale, not even just talking about basketball, but every new month, every new year, every new day is an opportunity to be legendary. And I think that framing just really spoke to me. So, it might speak to you guys as well. I know that's Shedeur Sanders' thing. He be legendary. I don't think that's where James Harden got it from. I think that's just his mindset going into it. But hell yeah, every day, every season, every opportunity is a new opportunity to be legendary. So go out and take that, But I bring this up because he was talking about how much he still loves the game, how he gets the same level of excitement that he's had since his rookie year every time a new season starts. And media day and training camp are the start of that new journey, and he embraces it like it's day one all over again. And I find that very fascinating because when you think about a player like James Harden, Hall of Fame career, multiple scoring titles, an MVP, multiple All-Pro teams, it would be easy to get burnt out after all of those years. I mean, this is year 17 for James? And yet he still carries himself with that same energy. So I think that's very impressive. Even with all the ups and downs, he still loves basketball. And don't forget, this isn't even a mention, he still hasn't won a ring. As great as his career has been, the one box that he hasn't checked is an NBA championship. And a lot of players who finish without a ring would most likely say that they felt discouraged by that. But with Harden, I think it's the opposite. I think it fuels him. And what I like about this Clippers roster is that it's a kind of a mix. It's a little melting pot. You got guys that have won. You got guys that have come close to winning and have been on that stage but didn't get it done. You got guys that are just as hungry for their first ring just as much as James Harden is. And I feel like that mindset around him helps because now he's surrounded by teammates who understand how close the margin is between winning and losing. So even if he never gets that championship, it's clear that the Beard still loves the game like he did when he first stepped into the league. And if you ask me, that mindset is exactly what makes this season so exciting. Having that mindset is everything. But as we're talking about this season, let's talk about some, roles that we can expect a lot of these guys to be playing. Starting with our boy Bradley Beal. From what it sounds like, he's walking into a different role with the Clippers this season. He's not going to be the first option, obviously. He's not going to be the second option, obviously. But he's likely going to be the third scoring option behind Kawhi Leonard and James Harden. But according to Ty Lue, this is more than scoring. He wants Bradley Beal to tap back into being that elite defender he's been in the past. And that's a big ask because throughout his career, Beal has been known for his offensive bag more so than his defense. So the question is simple. Can he embrace this role? Can he be more than just a bucket and help this team get all over the top and help them get that little push that they need on the defensive end? Because I think that if he wants to win, he doesn't really have a choice here but to do that. This squad needs him to lock in defensively, and we've talked about before how Ty Lue said that he's like a fine defender until he matches up against a star level player, and then he steps it up completely. He needs to have that mindset against anybody, no matter how good or bad that they might be. We need that killer instinct the whole time. And look, Beal can still put up 20 a night. You know what I'm saying? But his value here is going to be embracing the role that he's given, making sacrifices, and playing on both sides of the basketball. And if he buys in, this team is really scary. I'm just going to keep saying it. I've been saying it all summer. Now the season's here. And I'm going to just, I'm going to continue to talk my stuff, but I just want them to show y'all, you know what I'm saying? For those who still don't believe. If he doesn't adjust to this role, then it will be, kind of a tough adjustment, and it'll be interesting to kind of maneuver through that. But I think that he's hungry enough to do whatever it takes to get to where he wants to be. And he has teammates that can help him get there, encourage him. Teammates like Nick Batum, man. I want to talk about him because we haven't really given him enough love on this channel, man. Like, Nick Batum, year 17 for him as well. French Swiss Army knife. He's still out here carving out winning buckets, man. Winning buckets as well, but winning minutes is what I meant to say. You're going to have your guys like Harden, Kawhi, bring the flash, bring the numbers, the highlights, all that. Batum brings the winning habits. He's the guy who may not fill out the box score, but every contender can feel his impact, whether it's making the smart pass, taking the right defensive assignment, or just staying in the right spot. Batum does the little things that make the team better. Like, he's been on contending teams. He's played next to winners. He's even competed at the biggest stages, including being a crucial piece to France's 2024 Olympic run, where they faced off against Team USA, and it really came down to the last few, minutes. There's just something about Batum that in every locker room it seems that he's appreciated. And I've never heard anybody speak poorly about him. It's only been positive things. So when someone asks why he's still getting minutes, the answer is simple. Because every team needs a Nick Batum. Even if his minutes take a dip this year, which I would probably expect him to, he can still play that kind of Udonis Haslem, Andre Iguodala role where he's basically, that veteran presence in the locker room in a team full of veterans. He might not be on the floor as much, but behind the scenes, he can still help the locker room and the team balance and keep the standard high. Don't let anybody slack off. We're going prestigious here. Every team needs that guy, and the Clippers are lucky to still have him. And we talked about him probably not having the most minutes. I don't know where he really falls in the lineup, but clearly that's not set in stone. Because, well, let me just tell you guys. So, there's no way. There's just no way. Stop calling me. How I turn this on Do Not Disturb, y'all? How I do that? Reduce interruptions. I gotta start doing that. I'm sorry, y'all. Phone ringing. No, I'm playing. I'm not like that for real. I ain't have emotion. It was my dad. But like I was saying, at Media Day, the Clippers beat writer Joey Lynn asked Coach Ty Lue about the starting lineup. I follow Joey Lynn. He's a beat writer. Oh, I just said that he's a beat writer for the Clippers, and I follow him on Twitter because he posts a lot of interesting stuff, quick updates, and all that nonsense. Well, not nonsense, but you get what I'm saying. But he asked him about the starting lineup, and he confirmed that Bradley Beal will still be the starting shooting guard, which makes sense and was expected. But when he was asked about John Collins, Lue said that he couldn't remember if Collins was the starting power forward. I'm like, what do you mean by that? Like, what do you mean by, like, you can't remember? What do you mean by that? Like, I mean, he could be just tricking the media and, like, not wanting to give out, like, I don't know, giving out any secret sauce, let teams plan ahead. But I thought it was pretty clear that Collins would be the starting forward. To me, he's the most complete forward on the roster. And, I mean, we just talked about not including Kawhi. Just wanted to get out there. That's like an anomaly. We don't count that. But, like, we just talked about this last week about him being, the optimal move here. But now that answer leaves the door open to the idea that maybe Derrick Jones Jr. starts instead. And honestly, I can low-key see the argument. Start all the stars, Harden, Kawhi, Beal. soon to be Zubats, because he will be an All-Star this year. Stamp it. Um, and then put Derrick Jones Jr. in there to kind of be the hustle guy, kind of bring everything together. Then let Collins cook with that second unit next to Chris Paul, Bogey, Brook Lopez, and probably Chris Dunn, I would have to assume. And that's a second five that can hang with a lot of starting lineups in the league, if we're being honest. Um, from an offensive perspective, Collins might thrive more in that role, being a featured piece with that bench group. But it still feels wild to think that he might not be the starter. From the outside looking in, you would think that's obvious. But Ty Lue has been doing this for a long time. I'm just a fan on the outside. If he thinks this is the best way to balance the roster, then I'm willing to see how it plays out. But one thing I do know is that Collins is going to cook regardless of where he's playing, whether that be a starter, whether that be on the bench, because he's too talented not to make an impact. So he's going to be used. I guess he just can't remember where he'll be used. But, I guess all will be told when preseason starts up soon. It's coming up soon, guys, and I'm very excited. But that is going to do it for this episode today. I hope that you guys enjoyed. Let me know you guys' thoughts on this lineup debacle, whether you think that John Collins should start or if you think that he would be better coming off the bench with the second unit. Let me know, shout out Nick Batum in the comments. He's still making a good impact for us. What do you think about Bradley Beal shifting to more of a defender role, or at least picking it up to where he can still, get consistent minutes and, help contribute to the team's identity? And then, what do you think about James Harden, his mindset going into every season, with it having a new opportunity to be legendary? Like I said, I'm going to take that with me. I appreciate the beard for saying that, because that inspired me to want to be legendary. You know what I'm saying? Anytime I'm given a new opportunity. My supervisor just called me and he was like, can you work, morning shift tomorrow instead of the night? It's a new opportunity to be legendary. But nah, man. Preseason starts tomorrow. We don't play, but I don't remember who it is that does play. So, be on the lookout for that. NBA is finally here. I couldn't be more happy. I couldn't be more excited. And I can't wait to go on this journey with you all. But like I said, that's going to do it for this one. Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed. And, of course, consider subscribing if you're new here. But with that being said, y'all be easy. Y'all stay sleazy. And as always, keep it capital P-easy. I'm going to catch y'all in the next one. Y'all take it easy. Peace.